Welcome to Kieu Dung's channel. If this is your first time here, we would love for you to subscribe, like, and share so you don't miss any of our heartfelt stories. Today, we warmly invite you to join Sung Luyen, a brave single mother, and her young daughter, Kieu Dung, as they venture deep into the forest to harvest fresh bamboo shoots. Early in the morning, as the first rays of sunlight gently touched the little backyard garden, young Kieu Dung wandered happily among the vegetable rows, now lush and swaying softly in the breeze. From the kitchen, Sung Luyen called out, "Dung, get ready. Today, we're going into the forest to dig bamboo shoots." Kieu Dung smiled, nodded eagerly, and ran inside the house, her heart brimming with excitement for the new adventure with her mother.
Inside the house, Sung Luyen carefully packed their belongings for the journey ahead. She placed a small shovel, a water bottle, and a few snacks into the old woven bamboo basket they always used. After locking the door, she and little Kieu Dung lifted the basket onto their backs and set off together toward the forest. The morning air was cool and crisp as they walked side by side, their footsteps soft on the damp earth. They followed a narrow trail that wound its way toward the high mountain ridge, sunlight flickering through the leaves overhead. The path grew steeper, but they pressed on, step by step, their breaths deep and steady, their hearts filled with determination and the quiet joy of sharing this journey together.
The bamboo forest stood tall and quiet, a world of soft green shadows and dappled sunlight. Sung Luyen and her young daughter Kieu Dung finally stepped off the mountain trail and onto the forest floor. The air was cool and fresh, filled with the earthy scent of moss and fallen leaves. For a moment, they both stood still, listening to the whisper of the wind slipping through the tall bamboo stalks. "This is it," Luyen said softly, placing her basket down. "This is where the young shoots are hiding." Jung's eyes sparkled. She crouched down, brushing away layers of dried leaves with her small hands. Her mother knelt beside her and pointed at a small crack in the soil, almost invisible. "See this? It means a shoot is just beneath the surface," Luyen explained. "Bamboo teaches us something important. It grows strong by staying hidden for a long time, quietly building its roots before it reaches for the sky. Life is like that too. Real strength begins unseen, deep inside." Jung nodded thoughtfully, then carefully began digging with the small hand tool her mother gave her. Bit by bit, the soft soil gave way until a tender bamboo shoot emerged. "Look, Mama," she whispered excitedly. Luyen smiled gently. "Good work, my girl. Now place it gently in the basket. We only take what we truly need." With that, their morning rhythm began. They walked slowly through the forest, searching for tiny signs of life. A bump in the soil, a faint crack, a hint of green. Every time they found one, they would kneel side by side, loosen the earth, and lift it out with patient hands. Each shoot went carefully into their woven bamboo basket, like a small treasure. The forest seemed to hum with life. Birds called from hidden branches, and sunlight shimmered as it filtered down through the swaying green canopy. Sometimes they had to walk far to find a single shoot, stepping over twisting roots and ducking under low branches. Other times they stumbled upon a cluster, as if the earth had prepared a hidden gift for them. As they worked, Luyen spoke gently about life. "Jung, do you see how we must search carefully and work patiently to find these shoots? Yes, Jung said, brushing dirt from her cheek. That's how life is, her mother continued. Good things don't come easily. You must keep searching even when you are tired. The most precious things are often hidden. Jung thought about this as she dug into the soil again. If they had given up after the first few steps, they would never have found these hidden shoots. She realized that hard work was what brought rewards, not luck. The sun climbed higher, and beams of golden light began to pierce through the trees. Their basket grew heavier with each passing hour. When it became too heavy for Jung to carry, Luyen hoisted it onto her own back. Her steps were steady, even though her forehead glistened with sweat. Jung followed close behind, watching her mother silently. She saw strength in her mother, but also love. Love in the careful way she dug around each shoot. Love in every gentle word, in every smile she gave even when she was tired. And in that moment, Jung understood something new. Her mother was not just teaching her how to gather bamboo, she was teaching her how to live. To be patient, to be kind, to be brave, even when the path is steep. After a while, they paused on a mossy stone to rest. Jung reached into the basket, touching the cool, tender shoots. "Mama?" she said softly. "Why did these feel so special?" Luyen smiled. "Because we worked hard for them. When you earn something with your own hands, even the smallest thing becomes precious. This basket isn't just full of bamboo. It's full of our effort, our time, and our care." Jung's eyes grew thoughtful. She felt proud, not just of what they had gathered, but of the journey they had shared. The forest around them seemed warmer, glowing with golden light as if it was smiling at their effort. They stood again and began their walk back through the bamboo grove. The basket now felt heavier, but not in a burdened way. It was the good kind of heavy, the weight of something earned through love and persistence. Luyen reached down and took her daughter's hand. "Always remember this, Jung," she said softly. "What we gain without effort, we forget quickly. But what we earn with sweat, we carry in our hearts forever." Jung squeezed her mother's hand. They walked on, tired yet content, their hearts lighter than the weight on their backs, knowing they were carrying home more than just bamboo shoots. They were carrying memories, lessons, and the quiet joy of growing together.
On their way back, Sung Luyen and little Kieu Dung walked slowly along the winding path. Up ahead, a woman was kneeling in a small field, harvesting cassava roots from the warm earth. She looked up and smiled as they passed by, noticing the basket of fresh bamboo shoots on Luyen's back. After a brief, cheerful chat, the woman chose a few tender shoots to buy. Luyen handed them over with a grateful smile, and Zung watched quietly, seeing how kindness and hard work could bring people together, even just for a simple moment by the roadside.
As Sung Luyen and Kieu Dung continued down the mountain, they passed through the quiet village road. There, a wealthy woman hurried over, drawn by the sight of their fresh bamboo shoots. With a warm smile, she bought half of their basket. Luyen and Zong exchanged happy glances, grateful for the little income that would help them care for their simple life. At last, Sung Luyen and little Kieu Dung returned to their beloved little home. The sun was already dipping low, painting the walls in soft golden light. They set down the half-filled bamboo basket beside the door and let out a deep, tired sigh. Before they could rest or prepare dinner, Luyen needed to wash up. A day of digging through the forest soil had left her arms and legs itching from the dust and tiny plant fibers. She filled a wooden basin with cool water from the clay jar and gently poured it over her arms, feeling the grime and weariness slowly wash away. Kieu Dung sat nearby on the doorstep, swinging her legs and humming quietly, watching her mother with soft eyes, grateful that after a long, hard day, they were safe, together, and finally home. Feeling refreshed, Sung Luyen stepped into the small kitchen, the heart of their little home. She knelt by the hearth, carefully stacking dry twigs and bits of bamboo scrap, then struck a match. The tiny flame caught, crackled, and slowly grew into a warm orange glow. Beside her, Kieu Dung watched quietly as her mother scrubbed their old blackened pot until it gleamed once more. Luyen measured out a handful of rice, poured it into the pot, and rinsed it gently, swirling the water until it turned cloudy. She drained it, added fresh water, and placed the pot over the crackling fire. The faint scent of smoke curled through the kitchen as the fire popped and hissed. Dung's eyes sparkled. To her, this simple moment felt like magic. After a long, tiring day in the forest, home was now filling with the promise of warmth, food, and love. The pot of rice began to boil. She gently lifted the lid and stirred the grains so the water at the bottom could evaporate more quickly. When the rice had dried a bit, she moved the pot to the side of the fire to let it finish cooking in the gentle heat. Not wasting any time, she took out the fresh bamboo shoots, carefully peeling away the rough outer skins, then rinsed them clean in a basin of cool water. She placed them on the cutting board and sliced them into thin, even pieces. Returning to the stove, she set a pan over the fire and waited for the oil to heat before tossing in the bamboo slices. A lively sizzling sound filled the air as the fresh bamboo met the hot oil, and the fragrant aroma began to spread, filling the small kitchen with a warm and cozy feeling.
After the meal was ready, Sung Luyen gently placed the warm rice and fragrant stir-fried bamboo shoots onto their old wooden tray. The mother and daughter sat across from each other on the bamboo floor, their faces glowing softly in the firelight. As they began eating, the tender bamboo shoots filled the air with a gentle forest aroma, reminding them of the peaceful woods where they had worked so hard together. With each bite, their tiredness seemed to fade away, replaced by quiet joy. Looking at her daughter, Sung Luyen smiled and softly said, "Life can be hard, but if we stay strong, work together, and care for each other, we can always find happiness in even the smallest things." Kieu Dung nodded with a bright smile, her eyes sparkling with hope. If you also believe that love and hard work can create miracles, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and share it to spread this message of love and perseverance to more hearts around the world.